Hey everyone, Beardo here. You're watching Minutia Minute, and this is not going to be a comic book review. This is actually going to be my first ever vlog, actually. I don't normally do these. I am a good comic book reviewer. Like, that's something I don't think I'm too bad at it. You know, you can prove me wrong in the comments below, but I think I do an okay job. And, you know, the name of my show is Minutia Minute Comic Book Reviews, and so I've always felt like doing a vlog didn't really necessarily fit my channel per se, but at the same time, you know, you guys all have started doing vlogs. Like 6 months ago, nobody was doing them. Now everybody's doing them. I really enjoy watching your guys's, and I figured I'd give this one a shot. Even though it isn't something I normally do, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of things going on with my channel and with me, and this, you know, a vlog is just sort of the format that makes sense. So that's what we're gonna have for you today. Those of you who follow me regularly, I'm sure you've noticed I didn't do a proper comic book review last week. Haven't done a proper comic book review this week either, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that first. So, big news here for you guys. It's the crazy season. Last year, like, this didn't really have much of an effect on me in terms of my YouTube channel stuff, because I was kind of taking a break from YouTube over this season last year, and actually into what is now this year, and so it didn't occur to me going into this year that I was going to be as busy as I am. I've got all kinds of family obligations because, you know, I've got family here, I've got family out of state, I've got family, you know, all over the state as well, and on top of that, I work retail. So, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas, it just is absolutely insane busy all the time, and I have a lot more responsibility right now than I normally do. Or I shouldn't say more responsibility, just I have to use I have to use my great power responsibly more this time of year, I guess. And as a result, I'm just beat all the time. And, you know, I love coming home, reading my comic books, but when I get to the point of reviewing them, I just sort of feel burnt out. And I think part of it's because I have been doing reviews nonstop without a break since, you know, I got back on the channel, what was it, probably about April or March maybe even. And then I've just been so tired that, you know, it just feels a little too much like a chore right now, and I don't think that I can give the books that I'm reading right now a proper treatment going through here, starting with the end of November and then going in through December. So I am going to be taking a little bit of a break from my regular comic book reviews, just a little one. Now, don't unsubscribe me yet. There's other stuff coming. I have more to tell you about. There will still be stuff going on my channel, I promise. But yeah, my regular reviews, taking a little bit of a break. I'll probably pick back up in January. If I don't pick up in January, it'll be February, but definitely the first month or two into 2013. Until then, I do still have stuff going on. So, like I said, don't unsub me yet. A lot of you guys have been doing, like, my personal history of comic books, and I remember watching, like, the whole community did these probably 6 months to a year ago already, and I really enjoyed them then, but I didn't really have the courage to do my own. And now that everyone's doing them sort of a second time, and some of the newer YouTube users are doing them as well, I decided I wanted to throw myself into the mix. I don't have the most interesting personal history of anyone on YouTube. That's definitely true, but nevertheless, hopefully you guys will enjoy that. If it's a bad idea, don't be afraid to tell me, but yeah, I'm going to give that a shot. So that's something you can look forward to. In addition, Graphic Issues 616, if you're not subscribed to that channel already, things will be going on as normal on that channel. Matt and I are doing, this month we're going to be doing an End of the World review, where we basically talk about our favorite books of 2012, but we're doing it before the end of the world because we don't want to not have time to tell you about what we like this year. And also everyone else is doing theirs at the end of the year. So that's something that's coming up on that channel. And in addition, because I am someone who understands what you need, I will still be doing my Batman reviews. So, like you saw last week, I did do the Catwoman review. That is something you can expect to see. We've still got a couple more months left on Death of the Family. And just because I'm not doing my regular reviews doesn't mean I won't have energy to talk about Batman, because what can I say? I always have energy to talk about Batman. Now, when I do come back to comics, and doing regular comic book reviews, I should say, because I'll still be reading comics, but reading and commenting, but I won't be doing the full reviews. When I do come back to doing the full reviews, you're gonna notice that I'm actually taking a little bit of a break off of what I'm getting. This last week, I had like 10 books. I've had like 10 books every week this month, it seems like. There's just a lot of stuff going on in comics right now, and I'm getting more and more titles. And at the same time, I'm actually at a point where I need to be getting fewer titles. Now, I don't want this to come off as like a I can't afford comics anymore kind of a thing, because I mean, I'm not the most financially secure person in the world. I'm not gonna, you know, lie to you guys, but at the same time, I'm not at a point where like I can't afford comics. However, there are some things that I really want to focus on right now financially that comics are just getting a little bit too much in the way of. So I am going to be cutting down a lot on what I'm getting. I'm really looking forward to reviewing the books I am going to get for you guys, but it is going to be a much smaller chunk of books. And to put this into perspective, like, you know, I try and review about 6 books a week. That was getting me, you know, 24 books a month or thereabouts. There was always more. There would always be that one week where I'd have like 12 books that I have to somehow figure out how to review. So it's probably closer to 30 books. And it's actually going to be more like 2 or 3 books a week. As a matter of fact, I'm dropping so many books that rather than show you all the books I'm going to be culling, I'm actually going to show you the books I'm going to be keeping. So this is kind of the list of what you can expect me to be reviewing. Obviously, it's still, you know, we still have December to go, and I might change my mind on some of these, but the list of books that I'm definitely going to be keeping is actually a pretty short list. And again, I don't want you guys to like feel bad for me, or, you know, I mean, a lot of us on YouTube have our own monetary problems, and I don't want you to feel like I'm like screwed financially and that's why I'm doing this. It's genuinely because I've just got a lot of things in my future that I'm trying to plan for right now, and it's a lot of stuff I'm really excited for. And this is going to come off as blasphemy here on YouTube, but stuff I'm more excited for than comics. You know, just grown-up stuff. What can I say? Anyway, so here are the books that I'm going to be keeping. Not a huge stack. As a matter of fact, this is pretty close to the size of the stack of books that I got just this last week. No surprise, Batman staying. Was anybody expecting me to drop Batman? If I'm not getting any more books, Batman I'll still be getting somehow. Anyway, I am, against my better judgment, still going to keep Green Lantern. This is because I'm stubborn. I love Green Lantern. I've been through bad times before, and these aren't nearly as bad as the bad times. So it's the little engine that could, in my mind. I'm going to keep going. I honestly, it may get dropped anyway, though. But it's hard to say. Green Lantern's another one of those that I'm actually trying to get a full set of, or close to, because I really do love the character. But at the same time, I don't love it as much as Batman. We'll see. Anyway, I, Vampire was one I was gonna drop until I read this month's issue, and I realized there's no way I can drop I, Vampire. This one's staying. Wonder Woman. Is anyone really surprised by this? Wonder Woman's staying. It's the best. Another book I was gonna drop, and this is one that I could probably drop down the road, but nevertheless, it's just too good right now. I can't let it go, and that's Flash. I really, really love the current team on Flash. As soon as they leave, I'm guessing I'll drop this book. Flash is one of those characters that I've always wanted to like collect a ton of their stuff, but I never have. It just hasn't really been in the cards for me. So we'll see. I don't think that's going to change though. After these guys are off, I'm pretty sure that I'll be dropping this. However, in the meantime, I'm enjoying every minute of it. And that's all of the DC books I'm keeping. Wow, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. Wow, not very many. And you guys are already tallying all of the books that I'm not getting, I'm sure. But just stick with me here. There's more to come. Another book, no danger of getting dropped, is Hawkeye. This book is phenomenal, and it's one of the 2 books you must be reading for Marvel because it's $2.99. It only comes out once a month, and it's one of their best titles. So it's like, it's a no-brainer. Like, I'm amazed that this isn't part of the DC New 52. Blasphemy. Anyway. The other one, which fits that billing exactly, it's been going a little longer than Hawkeye, but it is every bit Hawkeye's equal, probably even a bit better, and that's Daredevil. And Daredevil is one of those I probably won't ever really drop, because that's another one that I'm very invested in. I love Daredevil, one of my favorite characters. But, especially with Mark Waid's run, no chance of this getting dropped. And that's it for Marvel. I would have loved, I will want to say, I would have loved to pick up some Marvel Now titles. And I know some of you guys have been like, why aren't you getting Marvel Now? You're right, I wish I was, but unfortunately, even the books that are $2.99 double ship, and I just can't justify that financially. I was digging Deadpool, and I was actually excited to at least get like the first 12 issues or so and just kind of run with it for a while, but I just can't do it. I would love to, but it's just not in the cards for me. Okay, so on to some of the independents. Another book that, and this is funny because this is, I almost said this is a book that would never be in danger of being dropped, but at the same time, when this first came out, I didn't pick it up because I was just trying to hold firm on my don't get books that are $3.99, don't spend too much money on comics routine, you know? And then I found myself going back and digging up all of the back issues because it is just phenomenal. And that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Matt, you made me a believer. Alright, and then it's just a few image books here for the last of my independents. Danger Club, a book in no danger of being cut by me, but a book that I'm guessing isn't going to run for a whole lot longer and doesn't run that often as it is, but definitely a book that I'll always be picking up while they're offering it. A book that I'm going to be keeping for my girlfriend, more than for me, but also for me too. I do enjoy this book, not as much as she does and not as much as you guys out there, but I am curious to see how this is going to continue to play out, and that is Revival. This is issue number 5, and this is a book that I don't normally review month to month because I wasn't getting this like on the week. I would get it a couple weeks later, but this is officially going into my pull list, and this is officially a book I'm going to be getting regularly. And then finally, last book, definitely not dropping Saga. This is also another one of those, is this a surprise to anyone? Yeah, not really. Another book that has a finite length. I'm guessing it's going to run for probably another 40 issues at least before they do think about wrapping things up. And I will be with this every minute of the way. So looking forward to that. Now there are some books that it's a mix of, there's a couple books I'm fence-worthy on, and there's a couple books that I'm just going to finish out because they are close to wrapping up. And so I've got another little side stack here for you of books that you may see from me over the future. Bedlam. I have not read issue 2 yet, so don't tell me whether I should or shouldn't drop it yet. Let me just read it and make up my mind. But Bedlam is one that I'm very intrigued by. I'm planning on sitting down and reading issues 1 and 2 back to back, and at that point I'm going to make a decision on this, but I'm leaning towards dropping it. We'll see. It's hard to say. It's so early, and I don't want to, but times are tough. So that's a maybe. Another maybe is actually the 1-2 punch that I know a lot of you out there love, Swamp Thing and Animal Man. They're just not different enough, and it's just been so overblown and so overhyped and so overbuilt up that I just don't get that excited about reading these anymore, and I feel like I would benefit from sticking it out and finishing it off at least, and then see what comes next and maybe make a decision then. So these are 2 books that are on the chopping block, but I haven't 100% decided. And I mean, yeah, this is $6, and for 2 books that basically are the same month to month, except one has Swamp Thing and one has Animal Man, it's it's really hard for me to justify this. This is practically like a book that double ships, except they both come out on the same day. One saving grace for these is for week 1 books, I don't think I'm getting hardly any, so these may end up sticking out just because I don't have anything else I'm getting that week, and we'll see kind of from there. I have high hopes that if I do stick it out, that something amazing is coming in these books, but I'm just a little jaded with them right now, so we'll see. Chopping block, but you may still see these come January. Alright, and then the rest of the books are books that I would either get if they came back. We'll start with that. There's a book that isn't coming out right now, but will be coming out, and is a book that I definitely am going to want if it does continue to come out, and that's Rocketeer. I think that... What can I say? I mean, there's definitely going to be something in 2013, because they said it in here. And Rocketeer is a book I will always be picking up. It's a question of how often it's going to come out. I'd love for it to be an ongoing. If it is, I'll definitely get it. But to be honest, if that does happen, one of the other books that I am currently getting will probably have to get dropped. Because this is a $3.99 book, and again, like I said, I'm really trying to save money. So this is one of the few, basically the two, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Rocketeer are the only two $4 books. Oh, and Batman. So those 3 are the only $4 books that I'm willing to stick it out for. Anyway, this is one definitely would be on my pull list if it was coming out right now, but for now, it's on hiatus. And then finally, the books that I'm finishing out that are either ending or they're at a good breaking point, I guess would be kind of the best way to describe it. Punk Rock Jesus. How can I not finish this? There's only one issue left for one thing, and for another thing, it's one of the best books I've read all year. So definitely finishing this one out. Amazing Spider-Man. 2 issues left to go. 3 if you count the .1 issue. This is going to be an expensive one to hold on to, and I'm tempted not to, but we're coming up on issue 700. It's the end of an era. I stuck it out for the last 6 months getting to this point. I'll finish it, but I'm not going to be picking up Superior Spider-Man. And then finally, the book that I'm going to finish next month with the big wrap-up, the big conclusion, but I'm not going to be picking up the month after, is Batwoman. And now that I'm saying that, I feel like maybe it's a chopping block book that maybe you will see in January. But I'm going to try really hard to stand true on this, because when this issue came out, I almost didn't buy it, and I literally, I wasn't excited to read it. Once I got through the book, I was mildly satisfied. I'm glad that things are wrapping up, but it's kind of like Swamp Thing and Animal Man. It's kind of like, oh god, too little too late, almost. So yeah, I'm kind of amazed that I'm saying that about this book, because there is so much amazing stuff about this. But I've got 15 other books, or I should say 13 other books that have just as pretty pictures as this. And I don't know. I mean, if something really amazing happens next issue, and I just can't resist getting issue 16, and they're starting a new storyline and it really hooks me, then I'll keep on it. But the chances are that this book's going to get dropped, but not until after issue 15 when we finally wrap everything up. So that's basically what I'm going to be getting. Like I said, it's not a huge list. Basically, I'm looking to get around 12 books a month. So things are going to be reduced down in terms of content for comic books on my channel. However, there are some other things that I want to do, and this is something I'm going to throw at you. It won't be part of my Minutia Minute comic reviews. There'll be a separate sort of show for this. But it's just mostly a question of if my viewer base is going to be interested in this, so please let me know below what you think. But I am a huge James Bond fan. When I was a kid, I collected all of the movies on VHS, and this is back when they were like 20 bucks a piece, and for the most part I paid for all of them myself, either through chores or literally paid for them myself, because I just was obsessed. The first one I ever saw was From Russia with Love, and then I followed it directly with Goldfinger, and it's sort of like the best of both worlds, sort of the more realistic From Russia with Love and like the crazy over-the-top super Bond extravaganza that is Goldfinger. all in a 1-2 punch in one night. It was just a blast. This is me, probably 11 years old, and I was hooked instantly. And when I was a kid, I read a lot of the books, not all of them, but several of the Ian Flemings, and I've always been fascinated by the character, and since Skyfall came out, which is an amazing James Bond movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I just haven't been able to get Bond out of my mind. I've been watching my copies of the Blu-rays because I only have the last few nowadays because obviously I don't have a VCR anymore. So I've been watching Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace like over and over and over again. I've watched some of them on Amazon Instant Video. Like I rented a couple of the older ones just for a kick, and I just haven't been able to get enough of James Bond. So I was thinking maybe I would do some James Bond reviews. Now, there's a couple of things that would kind of go with this. If I did do it, I would be reviewing all of the movies. So you'd have, maybe we do like a month of 007, kind of like we did a month of the modern age history of Batman this last year. And I go through all 23 James Bond films. Now, that's something that wouldn't happen until sometime next year, but if that's something you guys would be interested in, something you guys would like, let me know. I would enjoy doing that. Another thing that I was thinking about with that is reviewing some of the books too. I don't own hardly any of them anymore because I rented a lot of them from the library, or I got like cheap used copies that honestly ended up getting donated at some point because they were just in such terrible condition. But I did recently pick up a couple of books to kind of get my James Bond fix. So I did pick up Ian Fleming's On Her Majesty's Secret Service. This is one of my favorite films, and this is the one where James Bond actually gets married. Very unusual position for James Bond to be in, but a really, really good story. One of Ian Fleming's best, in my opinion, and one of my favorite of the films. So I did pick this up to reread it. Really curious to see what my perspective is going to be on this, because last time I read it, I was probably 14 or so we'll see. And then I also picked up this one. This is License Renewed. It's by John Gardner, and he is someone who basically picked up after Ian Fleming left off in the early 80s, and he did a few more books than Fleming did, but not by much. He did like maybe 14 books or something like that, and I read a whole bunch of his. These are some that I really enjoyed when I was a kid, and I'm really looking forward to reading them again. So if you're interested in me doing some Bond book reviews, Bond movie reviews, let me know, because it's something I think I am going to do. I don't know if I'll start this year. It's weird saying that, but it is, we only got a month left here. If I do, I do. If I don't, it'll be next year. But that is something I'm thinking about doing with the channel. So if you're interested in that, let me know below. Just kind of getting some feelers out there. Let me know what you think. But I would like to do some kind of a James Bond something. So let me know what you think of that idea down below. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I've been rambling for quite a while. Just to recap what's happened, I'm taking a little bit of time off. Sorry. You'll still get your Batman reviews. When I come back in January, you're going to see a lot fewer books because I'm saving some money, trying to get ready for my future. What can I say? And then James Bond. I want to do some reviews. The question is, do you want to watch them? So anyway, there you go. This is Beardo signing off for now. I will be back sometime very, very soon where I will talk about my history in comic books. Hope you're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to talking about it. And I have a few props I'm going to bring with me too, so it'll be fun. Anyway, talk to you all soon. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye-bye.